In our last episode, after our 4.5 day passage and then one night at Anchorage at Drake's Bay, we headed off in the fog, finally getting to see the Golden Gate Bridge, a truly bucket list item for us in boating. We got to pass under the bridge, being able to see most of it, and just had a marvelous time in good weather. Kind of spent most of the time up on the bow, letting the autopilot do all the work while we just soaked in the experience. Really, a really great time. Got to see downtown San Francisco once the fog lifted as we cruised by, under the Oakland Bay Bridge, and finally to our slip in Redwood City.
We're doing a little walking tour of San Francisco, so we thought we'd show you some of the sights.
The walking tour focused on the architectural elements of the Pacific Heights neighborhood, something that we found really interesting.
Lafayette Park. These two buildings are apartments, luxury apartments. Each apartment has a full floor, and there's 6,000 to 8,000 square feet, depending on the building. And they have a view of the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz. Serious real estate. This is a mansion built by Spreckles of the Sugar Fortune and now owned by Daniel Steele, the author.
Here we were fascinated by the zero lot line, and not even that, but that the eaves overhang each other's houses.
From the 1915 World Exhibition.
We then took the time to drive over to Half Moon Bay, over the hills along the Pacific coast. Not only was it a great time, but we knew that later on, and you'll see it later in this video, it's our first stop after leaving San Francisco on our southbound journey.
We have walked out on the pier to just kind of see what's going on here in this harbor. And there are just a ton of birds out here. Check them out on the breakwater. I wonder if these guys think I have something.
The Golden Gate Bridge from the overlook on the Sausalito or north side of the bay. We drove a little bit north of Sausalito to the Muir Woods National Monument, which was just fantastic to see these huge trees.
We're in the Sausalito Yacht Harbor and taking a walk on the boardwalk. Today is New Fender Day on Sea Venture.
Old fenders, which no longer hold air, but they've served us for a long time.
And served Sea Venture for even longer.
Even longer. And the new fenders, 4 new ones.
So we're getting them all situated.
Yep. So we look stylish when we pull into the marina, or at least we're ready to run into stuff. A final view of the West Point Harbor Marina in Redwood City. For this trip from Redwood City to Ensenada, Mexico, we've left Blake and Barkley at home up in Washington for a little staycation. But don't worry, they'll be back later on in a few more videos.
Heading out the fairway of Harbor Point. And the sun is just coming up. Well, just making itself visible. Hi everyone. We are working our way slowly out of San Francisco Bay.
Woo! Ready to head on south toward Southern California.
Yep.
Today we're going to go under the Golden Gate Bridge. It is July 5th.
Yes.
So time to continue our journey southward. After a longer than anticipated pause in Redwood City, but that's okay. Just ready to keep moving along. On our way from Redwood City, approaching the San Mateo Bridge in South San Francisco Bay this morning, nice and calm. As we gradually head towards San Francisco and Sausalito and the Golden Gate Bridge this morning, pretty exciting day. Cloudy and overcast this morning in San Francisco Bay as we work ourselves way off in the horizon there to downtown San Francisco.
Here's a view of all the ships anchored out in the bay as we approach the Oakland Bay Bridge.
As we approach the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, the view of Treasure Island to starboard, downtown San Francisco to port, and all the way to port. I call it Giants Stadium. It's actually Oracle Park, where the San Francisco Giants play. So pretty iconic views. I think there's looks like a cruise ship up here as well. Cruising along toward the Golden Gate Bridge in front of us at a whopping 5.2 knots with the current in our favor at 1,000 RPM, which we've been at since 6 o'clock this morning, and it's now what, 10 o'clock. So for the last 4 hours we've been at 1,000 RPM going 5 knots. because West Point Harbor Marina, which by the way was absolutely a spectacular harbor to stay at, is relatively shallow. So we elected to leave at the high tide, but we want to hit the Golden Gate Bridge at slack tide to minimize the waves, current opposing swell, and can be really bad under the bridge apparently. So we've been putzing along slowly here, but the weather is really calm. So we just go along and trying to think about when we want to throttle up, when do we want to put the paravanes, the fish in the water. We don't know. I think our target for today is just to anchor in Half Moon Bay, just down the coast. I don't know how far that is either. Maybe 20 miles, something like that. It's not very far. And then maybe tomorrow go to Monterey. But that's what we're doing. So now we got downtown San Francisco and the waterfront on the port, the Golden Gate Bridge straight ahead, and Alcatraz right off the starboard side. And then behind Alcatraz, Angel Island.
I can't keep up with you. There's Alcatraz. And there's Angel Island. All right, looking out the window, we're starting to run into multiple sailboats out apparently doing a sailing event. But at any rate, take a look at the screen. There are AIS targets every which way. We're just trying to steer clear of them.
All right, we're approaching the Golden Gate Bridge. Spectacular, except we can barely see the bottom of one of the abutments now.
Let me go outside, I'll show you. Oh, some wind. Look at that, there's no bridge left. It has just disappeared. Huh. Here's our chart view as we get ready to go under the bridge, which is located right here. And here is our radar view of the bridge. It shows you the barrier in front of us.
And out the window view of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Here is our view out the window. Oh my gosh. But I do hear the foghorn. We're approaching the bridge and still nothing out the window, but we can see the abutment a little bit, the one to the south side, but really no bridge at all today. It's kind of sad, but that's okay. We are off. There's the bridge. Now we can see it. The abutment over there. And the bridge as we go under it. We're by the 1 mile light and it's time to put the fish in. And now we can go forward and turn left again and work our way southbound. Now we're in full-on passage mode, just heading southbound out of San Francisco. The waters are terrific. Fish are in, bulbous bow is doing its thing, and we're getting a nice ride.
Traveling today from San Francisco Bay to Half Moon Bay, down the California coast. using predict wind to carefully pick our weather window and look at the result. Really nice, just gentle swell. Can't really imagine it being any flatter, actually.
We're still moving around.
Still move around, you're still in the ocean.
But it's nice and flat.
Yep.
Very gentle. We're entering the harbor at Half Moon Bay.
It's something you don't see in Washington, I don't think, anywhere, right? It's a double breakwater. There's a big breakwater out here, and the anchorage is behind this breakwater. Then there's a second breakwater, and the marina is behind the second breakwater.
Here you can see it. Here's the first one, and then here's the second one.
So we're going to go anchor.
And then here it is on the chart. Not sure if it's as easy to see, but you've got the main breakwater out here, and then a littler one back in here. So, we're going to go check this out.
Look at the rocks.
Oh, check out the birds on the rocks here.
Pelicans.
Pelicans, which we do not have up in the north, or at least we haven't seen. And we call them pterodactyls because they're huge. And they sting. Ooh.
Shortly after anchoring, a trawler slowly approached Sea Venture with what has become a common greeting. It goes something like, "We know you, but you don't know us." It was Mike and Amy, some fans from YouTube. So we ended up getting to chat with them for a little bit as they hovered alongside. Then they went off fishing for a while we got settled in. And then ultimately, we tucked the tender on into shore and ended up having a great evening. So now we know them as well. It's always just wonderful and great to get to meet people through the YouTube channel. It's the real motivation behind doing all this. Thanks for watching another episode. Join us next time as we continue our journey down the California coast. Until then, wishing you no wind and flat seas.